Hello, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk and from unboxings.com, and here I am looking at the Lenovo IdeaPad Yoga 13. This is a 13-inch multi-mode 360-degree transformable flip design, basically an Ultrabook. So we're going to do a quick unboxing video for you, and if I can find my knife, we'll undo the seal here. We'll have a quick unboxing video, have a look at the device itself, the computer, and then we'll go ahead and do our full review. But first things first, we need to get inside and open up. So this is the 13-inch Yoga, and there is an 11-inch as well. So let's take all this out. Inside we have another box, which I guess is far more attractive, frankly. And let's put that to one side. So much more attractive internal box, which certainly looks part more of a sort of a retail environment. So so take a look at what's inside. In fact, we'll just adjust our zoom so we get a better view. So inside the internal box, we can open her up. There we go. So we have the, get it out, there we go. We have the Yoga itself, which I'm going to come back to in just a second. I want to take a look at the accessories. So box number one, we have the mains adapter, which is quite a slim and quite light affair, which is it's pretty good, because having a thin light laptop and then having a really chunky heavy charger is, I find, quite irritating, because I want to take my charge pack power supply with me as well as taking the laptop. So useful to have a thin and light one of those. This large one here, here's all the documentation, which indeed it is. So you have the general information, guide, warranty, and all that kind of stuff. The stuff that, yeah, most people pretty much don't read, and I'm no exception. So then the last thing in the other end is just the UK mains cable to go with the, obviously, the charger we saw a moment ago. So let's just move these out of the way, take a look at the IdeaPad itself. So we're covered in sort of this packaging plastic, which obviously needs to be carefully undone, and for us to get that's about. There we go. So there we have it. So I'm looking at the silver one here. Other colours available. I believe the other one's like an orange. But so let's take a quick look around the unit. So on one side we have an HDMI connector and a USB 3.0, a dual mode headphone and microphone socket. There's a little up and down control there, presumably that's useful as a volume control. And I believe that the little hole there is actually for built-in microphone. Looking around to the front, we have a power cable and an additional button to the side as well. Mystery button at this point in time. And then we have another one on the side, which I think is the rotate or no rotate button. We then have a cover, sorry, eject, for a multi-capable card reader, so that supports SD and MMC basically. And around the back, really, further towards the back, we have USB 2.0 USB socket, and then the connector there for where we plug in our charger. On the back, really nothing to see. There's obviously the grill there for the heat exhaust, and then on the bottom, it's really clean design actually. Nothing much to see on the bottom. Now opening up, there we go. It's telling me that the power button's right at the front. It's pretty useful for a starting. So inside we have obviously a full QWERTY keyboard, chiclet style, quite an attractive looking keyboard as it happens, and then a very large trackpad area, which I believe supports multi-touch. And it was telling me indeed that I have the i5 version. I'll come to that in just a second. The display then, it's obviously a 13-inch display, and the resolution is 1600 by 900 pixels, so it's a reasonably high resolution display. It's actually a 13.3 as it happens, and it's an IPS display, so it's got quite a nice wide viewing angle in fact, so that's pretty useful and pretty cool. 16:9 widescreen format as well. The top just above we have the forward-facing camera. It's a 1 megapixel camera. It supports 720p video recording, which indeed is useful for Skyping and video conferencing and stuff like that as well. And the idea here is that we can fold the screen all the way back on itself, so we can use it in tablet mode, in either portrait or landscape, and using a touch screen. It is a full touch screen, so it supports 10-finger interaction touch screen for multi-touch. So we have the touch screen, and we can have it in tent mode. Again, touch screen there works as well. Then we can bring it around to a more traditional mode as well, and obviously it closes all the way back. So the idea there is that it folds around. You can view it in that mode, which is quite useful for your video conferencing and stuff like that when you don't need the keyboard, and obviously the tablet mode. And in tablet mode, usefully, it disables the keyboard and the trackpad itself and just switches into a full touch screen. So the one I have here is Windows 8. It has an Intel HD Graphics 4000, 2 built-in speakers on either side as well. USB ports we've already looked at. Dimensions, well, longest point is 333mm by 224, and incredibly, when we are in the closed position, we are just 16.9, nearly 17, just under 17mm thick. And I can certainly remember a time when there are mobile phones on the market that are certainly still more than 17mm thick, so it's pretty impressive to have a thin, light and transformable laptop of that thickness. The model I have here is the Core i5, which is a 1.9 GHz Core i5, 4 GB of RAM, 128 gig internal SSD, and obviously the camera we've already mentioned. Battery life they state as being greater than 8 hours, which is pretty awesome actually, so I'm looking forward to giving that a really good test. And say with the built-in 128 gig hard drive SSD, that's going to be quite useful to see how long we can get a battery life on that. Built-in wireless LAN, supporting 802.11, BGNN standards and Bluetooth 4.0 as well. And weight, just 1.4 kilograms, extremely light, and no problem here holding it in just the one hand, no problem at all. So let's just see if we can power up. Hopefully it's been shipped with a little juice. So it doesn't look like we've got any power in there, so pause this while we go and plug in some power. So with some power plugged in, let's now turn on for the first time and just have a quick look at the display. It's reasonably good resolution actually, 1600 by 900 for a 13-inch. Let's swing it around. So full tablet. Extremely glossy display. So indeed we can use the touchscreen, which is pretty much how Windows 8 should work really. I think it works best as a touchscreen. So we can go through our configuration, accepting the license terms and conditions. And setting up our default schemes. So we can do there. So we'll just change that. There we go. That's Lenovo. We go ahead and connect to a wireless network. Put in my password. Okay, and after a short wait, we start up. So the obviously familiar Windows 8 screen. We have the full touch screen there. Some bits and pieces already pre-installed, which are pretty cool. And the Kindle app on there. I'm not sure that I'd want to read a book on a 13-inch screen, but at least the option's there. And some other bits and pieces already installed. The screen actually is really bright and colourful. That IPS display doing an excellent job, and the resolution is pretty decent as well. Microsoft Office on there already too, but I suspect that's probably the trial version. So let's just go and take a look at Internet Explorer, and just for, that's actually a little too heavy to hold with one hand, and let's go ahead and see if we can go to our site. Well, I'm going to Google for it, or Bing for it, because I'm being lazy. There we go. Off we go. So there we go. Already loaded. Obviously on a broadband connection, but extremely quick to actually load all that up. And we can look through. And don't forget to check out our other unboxing videos. And there's going to be more Lenovo unboxing videos over the coming months as well. So there we go. That's there already. To open from the edge, we can go back to start menu and go into the other bits and pieces, but it obviously is a straightforward and standard Windows 8 implementation, so we can do whatever we want with our bits and pieces here. And the start menu, should be able to get the start menu just down the corner. Well, anyway, you get the idea. So this is indeed the Lenovo IdeaPad Yoga 13 fully transformable multi-mode PC. We'll have a full review for you over the next few weeks. I'm going to be using this as my, pretty much, hopefully, my only mobile device for the next couple of weeks, and I'll let you know how I'm getting on with it. It's going to be a bit of a change because I haven't owned a Windows PC for quite some time, so that'll be an interesting look at it. In the meantime, if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's twitter.com/TracyandMatt or facebook.com/TracyandMatt.co.uk. If you want to ask us any questions about the Ultrabook from Lenovo, the IdeaPad Yoga 13, or indeed any of the other Lenovo products, or you want to ask us about the Lenovo Insiders program that we're part of, because there's going to be a lot more Lenovo news over the sort of coming months. If you want to ask us anything about that, please do so. I'll be back soon with some more videos and reviews on TracyandMatt.co.uk, but for now, thanks for watching.